So 6 months ago, I had my mind completely blown when it comes to savings accounts, which made me run to my local bank and close my savings account immediately. In this video, I want to tell you the reasons why you should probably close your savings account if you're using a big national brand bank. What's up, guys? Welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Brad. I make videos with tips and motivation on how to get out of debt, how to stay positive, and also follow my path to financial independence. Today, I have another great video for you, and it comes from my comments and feedbacks and subscribers. And man, I love these videos the most. They are really what helped me drive this channel forward. So thank you guys always for the questions that you have for me. For those of you that don't know, I teach high school and my students know about this channel and they ask me certain questions about personal finance all the time. And a question that came up a couple months ago was, what type of bank accounts they should do, and what's the difference between a CD and a savings account and a money market account and a checking account. And I really found out that I didn't really know that much about it. I think part of the reason why I didn't have all the details was because we get into this situation where we trust big banks. We trust name brands. Kind of like when I was a kid, I always wanted McDonald's as opposed to the mom and pop restaurant. We just get comfortable with things that we see over and over again. Well, what I'm finding out, especially in the space of personal finance, what you think you know may not always be the best option, and that you always have to go and do your own research. So that's what I did. I wanted to be able to come back to my students with, the best information for them, because they were looking at me for help and I didn't want to just talk out of pocket and give them information that wasn't true. So I did my research, and in doing so, I realized that I was getting duped as well. My whole life, I've only used two banks. One was Bank of America when I was really young. Then when I moved and there wasn't really a Bank of America in the area, I moved my checkings and my savings account into Chase. And that's pretty much been the bank that I've used for my businesses and for my personal life my entire life. And just like a lot of you, I thought that I needed a checking account and a savings account, and that would do the job. My checking account I could use for everyday purchases, direct deposits, writing checks, using my debit cards, and things like that. And then my savings account would be the one that I'd put money aside for savings, and it would accrue interest, and I would make some money off of that savings as well. But the one fatal flaw that I made was I never looked at what the interest actually was. And as of 6 months ago, if somebody asked me what the interest was on my savings account, I would not have been able to give them a clear answer. The first aha moment I got was when I looked, and I almost couldn't believe it, that my Chase savings account, which has fees and minimums and things like that, they were giving me 0.01% interest on my savings. Now, if you're not really math, some back of the envelope math for you. If you have $10,000 invested, that means that every single year, Chase was going to give you $1. That's right, $1 on 10,000. That was going to be the amazing interest that you were going to get with this huge national branded bank like Chase. $1, which at 0.01%, guys, you're losing money. You're not even keeping up with inflation. And either was I. For years, I was furious. So I had to figure out another way, because that was not going to be the case anymore. So let's take a look at exactly where I moved my savings and why I made the decisions that I did. I moved my money into an online savings account and with an online bank. And I have to be honest, I was a little skeptical at first, and maybe you are too. I always thought of these online banks as kind of like a scam, and how could they be giving such great interest? And it really wasn't until I became educated that I became more comfortable with online banks and the opportunities that they award you. And you can do a simple online search and find out different types of online banks and the interest that they give you according to certain things like how much money you have in there and how many times you use their account. And there's going to be a couple different options for you to use. And the option that I went with, frankly, didn't have the highest interest rate. There are some other online banks that have higher interest rates than the one that I went with. I decided to move all my money into Capital One 360. And here are the reasons why. First and foremost for me, there was a brick and mortar bank right here in my town. There's a Capital One bank right here. And maybe it's the old-fashioned part of me or that little bit of skepticism with the online banks, but I like the idea of being able to go to the bank. I like the idea of being able to put money into the bank. And I liked money of having an ATM right here in my hometown. which I didn't have with some of the other online banking options. So for me, the difference between 2% and 2.2%, it really wasn't enough for me to go with another online bank when I had Capital One right here in my hometown. Another reason why I wanted to go with them is because it was really, really easy for me to move money from my checking account, which I am keeping with Chase, right into that Capital One account. And I'm sure this is the same with all online banks. I'm sure they link to Chase quite easily. I frankly don't know, but I knew that that was going to be something that I wanted to do. And transferring the money back and forth takes a couple days. I guess maybe that's a con to not having it with Chase. I mean, when I transferred money from my savings right into my checking in Chase, I got that money immediately, but it's savings account. I shouldn't need that money immediately. A third reason I wanted to go with Capital One is because as a member of the FIRE community and somebody that may one day, when I get out of debt, use credit card churning for reward points, I know Capital One has a couple cards that I might want to use in the future. So it was comforting for me to know that, I could have a couple of accounts all in one place. The last reason I decided to go with them is because I got the information about Capital One from people that I trusted, people that I looked to in this community to give me advice and to help me with my personal finance. Frankly, I used JJ Buckner's code. I clicked on his link after watching his video on his review, and he got $20 and I got $20 for opening an account. So that was another reason, because I went online and I did my research. And that referral code's awesome. If you decide that you want to open up a Capital One 360 account, they're going to give you a fund that you can give this information to your friends and family, and they have a pretty good referral bonus. And if you don't have somebody that uses a Capital One, please go down to my link, click my link, let me know. If you open an account, you get a $25 bonus. I get a $20 bonus. Everybody's happy. So, take a look, and maybe Capital One might be for you as well. Let's dive into some of the particulars so that you have a full understanding before you go over to Capital One's website to see which account might be best for you. There's going to be two options that you're really going to want to look at. You're going to want to look at their savings account, their standard savings account, and something that they call their money market account. They have a couple of similarities like no fees and no minimums, but the interest is really where these two accounts are different. And deciding which one that you're going to use is really, really simple. It depends on how much money you think that you're going to have inside that savings account. And the amount of money that you have inside the savings account is the thing that's going to determine how much interest you get back from this bank. So currently, as of right now, today, June 2nd, filming this video, Capital One on their savings account, they have a fixed rate 1% return on any amount of money that you have in there, from 0 to infinity. 1%. Now, this is going to be good for people that are going to have less than $10,000 in their savings account, and I'll tell you why. If you have a money market account that has less than $10,000 in it, the interest that you're going to receive is 0.85%. Okay, so that is 0.15% less than if you had that money in the savings account. Once you hit $10,000, that's going to be the threshold of where you want to go from a savings account into the money market account. And that's where you will receive 2% interest back on your money. That means if you have $10,000 in a Capital One 360 money market account, you are going to get $200 in interest every single year. That's going to compound over time. So it's real simple. If you have less than $10,000 and you know you're probably not going to hit $10,000, then go with their standard savings account. It has no fees, no minimums, and you're going to get 1% back. If you don't have $10,000 now, but you know you're going to pretty soon, then go with the money market account. The money market account return of 0.85% until you hit that threshold of $10,000 is still pretty good. It's 0.84 more than what I was getting in my Chase. And I chuckle at myself because for so many years, I had my money in Chase thinking, oh, Chase is doing a great job for me, guys. And so I hope this has motivated you to at least look and see what interest you have in your savings account. I'm not telling you have to change. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm only telling you what I did. But I think if you go and look and realize some things and see that there are better options out there, I highly recommend. Click my link down below, shoot over to Capital One, see if that option's great for you. Consider opening an account and starting to take advantage of these higher interests that you can receive. And as I said in the beginning of the video, guys, please drop down in the comments for any feedback. Let me know what bank you're using so people all over the country and all over the world can see what's the best online bank for them. I would love to use this as a resource. Like I said, Capital One, which is just what worked best for me, and I know that it may not be the best option for everybody. Give this video a thumbs up. It really helps promote the video to other people on YouTube so that they can learn about high interest bank accounts as well. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Until I see you on the next one, guys, stay positive, work really, really hard, always be kind to others. I hope you have yourself an amazing day and a better tomorrow.